Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, who made this known in a statement, said the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria (TUC) will consider the government's offers, including a 35,000 naira pay increase for all Treasury-paid federal workers. He urged the labour unions not to embark on strike, as the issues in dispute can only be resolved when workers are at work. The statement said the subcommittee will be constituted to work out the details of the implementation of all items regarding government interventions to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal. The statement also said the lingering matter of Road Transport Employees Association of Nigeria and the National Union of Road Transport Workers (NURTW) in Lagos State needs to be addressed urgently. Earlier, President Tinubu, in his Independence Day speech, announced a 25,000 naira pay bump, which he said will apply to low-grade workers only as a means of cushioning the effect of subsidy removal. A move the labor unions rejected. The president, who listed other measures adopted by his administration to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal, among other public sector reforms to stabilize the economy.
To ensure better grassroots development, we set up an infrastructure support fund for states to invest in critical areas. States have already received funds to provide relief packages against the impact of rising food and other prices, making the economy more robust.
President Tinubu also said compressed natural gas buses will arrive in the country soon to cushion the high cost of transport.
We have opened a new chapter in public transportation through the development of cheaper, safer, compressed natural gas (CNG) buses across the nation. These buses will operate at a fraction of current fuel prices, positively affecting transport fare. The new CNG conversion schemes will start coming in very soon, as all hands are on deck to fast-track the usual lengthy procurement process.
The Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has described fuel subsidy as an organized crime. Mr. Obi said this today on Arise Television while speaking on what approach he would have taken differently in resolving the looming strike by the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress. He said the approach he would have taken is to remove the corruption and criminal side of it and remove the excess demand. Moving on, the low-key Independence Day celebration across the country will continue today in some quarters. Schools, banks and public offices will stay closed today for the public holiday declared by the federal government to mark Independence Day celebration. In the meantime, some residents of Port Harcourt told our correspondent that they had nothing to celebrate due to the suffering and high unemployment rate in the country.
Dollar is rising up to 1,000. Go to police station, you cannot buy fuel, you cannot buy cars. What are we even celebrating? As somebody that live and do business in Nigeria, I don't have anything to celebrate. We just go to our normal hustling for the day. We have nothing to celebrate. Even the government itself has even acknowledged it and said that they want to be a low key, they will not invite one leaders.
What will they celebrate? We be say joy not there for the country. We still in bondage, so no need of celebrating.
It has been a wonderful 63 years of building strong men in this country. I'm very proud of Nigeria. Out there, we are making waves. I'm proud to be a Nigerian. I'm proud of Nigeria, but I'm not proud of Nigerian leaders.
Are we even celebrating? You're celebrating when you're happy now. There is no money in the country, especially now. There is a scarcity of parents are struggling. Nobody, even me, I'm not happy.
River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara says despite the various challenges confronting Nigeria, the country has achieved significant breakthroughs in its journey. Governor Fubara said Nigerians have refused to be discouraged by the numerous challenges confronting the country, remaining bonded as a nation. In a recent development, the chairman of the Trade Union Congress TUC in River State, Ikechukwu Onyefuru, says the oil and gas sector is not witnessing growth because the government has failed on its part to bring in the counterpart funding it had with the international oil companies in terms of exploration and operations. Mr. Onyefuru said this in an interview with correspondent Soibi Oroare.
Is a challenge as we speak today. Government is not able to pay their own counterpart funding by providing the required cash call. How can you be in a business with somebody, you have a contract, and you say, look, you're going to be the operator of this venture. I'm going to provide the fund for you to operate. Then when we have profit, we share. The guy will operate. You will sell, you will make profit. You take the profit, take the capital, take everything, and you're not even bringing the counterpart funding for operation.
On his part, the National Public Relations Officer of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Okadike Chinedu, says the oil and gas sector has contributed more to the division of the country.
Instead of the oil uniting us, the oil has deteriorated to ethnic wars, tribal wars, state wars, 30% derivation, 10% Niger Delta Development Authority, Northern Nigerian Development Authority. These are all the unnecessary demarcation on our economy. The oil should have boosted us. It should have raised our per capita income. It should have also put some infrastructures and be able to put us in world market. Nigeria would have been basis or a hub for Africa and the international community.
In the power sector, immediate past branch chairman of Senior Staff Association of Allied and Companies in PHED, Anabo Ibn Bartholomew, says absence of political willingness and no steady investment in the power sector is responsible for the nation not being able to generate energy beyond 6,000 megawatts yearly. Mr. Bartholomew said that the nation has raw materials like gas, but majority of the equipment in the power stations are old. Also, the South-Southeast Regional Deputy Secretary General of Senior Staff Association of Electricity and Allied Company, Innocent Lord Douglas, said the government's undue interference in the generation value chain is one of the challenges in the power sector.
Federal government influence is still very high in even the discourse. The taxes these people pay, the source of gas, and the cost of getting gas are so much that a private company cannot match in providing utility to a country like Nigeria. We have come up with so many fora to condemn the privatization of power sector and asking government to retake back the power sector and give it a proper attention.
In education, a renowned educator, Ikechi Wogo, says there is a significant disconnect between the purpose of education as a social service and as a business. He said insufficient funding for schools, poorly compensated teachers, and inadequately equipped inspectorate divisions are some of the challenges facing Nigeria's education system.
Everybody wants to charge more fees for education. Some private schools are very intentional about equipping the schools, the teachers, with the right Montessori tools. But in the government school, when last did you hear of a government Montessori school? We used to have the grammar school models. We used to have the commercial school models. Where are they? Those things were set up with a motive, but today there's a complete absence of motive in learning and teaching. And so children just get to school, and schooling is now that place next door. Nobody cares about the offering and the deliverables. Are they delivering the curriculum? Are they delivering real-time solutions?
Mr. Wogo says emphasis on passing examinations has led to rampant malpractices across schools in Nigeria, undermining the true purpose of education.
Because there's so much emphasis on passing the exams, then there's compromise. The schools would have to settle someone, so WAEC would turn the other eye. And where there is malpractice, no school can be accorded the best of essence and essentials in terms of real performances. So you have children who would make all A's in their WAEC because they cheated, very high scores in JAMB, but they can really not represent themselves. They can scarcely even spell their names.
Speaking about the state of the judiciary since independence, a constitutional lawyer, Richard Wokocha, urged judges to prioritize justice and certainty in their decisions to build public trust.
The courts and the entire judiciary needs to know that public confidence is continuing to win and that there is need for them to make effort to build back public confidence. I don't subscribe to their giving judgment that is not according to the law because they want to win public confidence, but I think they can make effort in avoiding outrightly controversial decisions that don't seem to stand with the law.
Well, still to come, the AGF says no plea bargain agreement with former CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele. Stay tuned. Health Department UPTH after heated smoke from a sparked electric cable left them unconscious. The incident happened over the weekend in the Ogbogoro axis of Choba community in the Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State. An eyewitness says the children, a 3-year-old boy and 6-year-old girl, cried for help between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. after their mother locked them indoors.
The girl was inside crying. Then my neighbor told me that it's like the mom is not around. Unfortunately, the second one starts crying again. I was thinking that it's just like ordinary cry. Before I know, the popsy come back, and the minute he opened the door, he just saw smoke everywhere. We just saw this lying down there. We then take them to hospital.
The father of the victims, Chima Simeon, also spoke.
I came back by 9 o'clock yesterday night. My wife, I called her when I reached Alakaya. Told me that he's not around. I should go and pick up key. Come back house. Open the door. I now see a lot of smoke inside the house. I now have to bring the children outside. Then people are now gathered. We're now taken to hospital UPTH that night. I don't know the actual problem, whether it's a light or something born, but I just see a lot of smoke inside the house. Even my fridge, my home theater, then born.
Mr. Simeon, a 30-year-old plumber, is now appealing for assistance to pay their hospital bills. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi has refuted reports that he signed a non-prosecution plea bargain with former Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. As you may know, the arraignment of Mr. Emefiele and his associate over procurement fraud in August has been stalled till date, fueling speculations that he had opted for a plea bargain with the federal government on the matter. But in a statement by the spokesman for the Ministry of Justice, Mudukwe Ogundoro, the AGF described the report as false, saying that there is no such agreement between his office and the embattled former CBN governor.
And now the business news.
To business now. Nigeria has set a plan to help startups raise their total yearly funding rounds to $5 billion by 2027. Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, made this known today in a document. He said in today's global technology landscape, innovation, entrepreneurship, access to capital are critical components of a strong digital economy. In entertainment, English football legend David Beckham and his wife Victoria will open up on past infidelity rumors in a new docu-series that will be airing on Netflix next week. In sports, Napoli striker Victor Osimhen says he has unwavering love for the club and has urged unity amongst its fan base. It comes after the Serie A club were criticized for sharing a video on TikTok appearing to mock the Nigerian for missing a penalty last week. But Napoli have said they never meant to offend the 24-year-old striker. And finally, from the international scene, former U.S. President Donald J.D. Trump is expected to appear in a New York court today at the opening of a civil fraud trial which leaves his business empire in jeopardy. Mr. Trump, his 2 adult sons, and the Trump Organization are accused of inflating the value of their properties by more than $2 billion. And that was the news this afternoon. But before we depart, a quick recap. On the news this afternoon, the federal government says it is hopeful that organized labor will consider its offer of an extra pay. Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi says fuel subsidy is organized crime. Schools, banks, and public offices will remain closed as low-key Independence Day celebration day continues. 2 children have been hospitalized after they were locked in by their mother. The Attorney General of the Federation says there is no plea bargain agreement with former CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele. And on the foreign scene, former U.S. President Donald Trump is expected to attend a civil fraud trial opening today. The news was edited by Marcel Kere in Kem. Mostly cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this afternoon with temperatures of about 27 to 31 degrees centigrade. Please be advised. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. 0808-721-7215. Peace is a path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. My name is Jude Omamigbe. Thank you for listening and good afternoon.